Hi guys, today I'm very excited to talk about my top 10 best perfume discoveries of 2024 so far. Can you believe it? It's already mid-year, and having said that, there were so many perfume releases, kind of overwhelming, right? So what I decided to do is to gather my top 10 perfume discoveries that are not necessarily hype or everyone's favorites, but in my personal opinion, are stand out when it comes to uniqueness, quality, and performance. All the fragrances that I'm going to talk about today are released this year. Some of them are sent in PR, some of them I bought myself. Some of them I tried since launched in Essence in Italy last March. And yeah, it's going to be a fun one, so let's get into it. By the way, all of these perfumes have been reviewed in detail already by yours truly in the past, so I won't be getting into details when I talk about these perfumes. And if you're an avid fan of my channel, for sure, you could have figured out my top 10 easily, as I've talked about them a lot of times already in this channel. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Joanna and I do reviews and recommendations of affordable and luxury fragrances in my channel. Now, if that sounds appealing to you, then please do keep watching and maybe consider subscribing. First up on the list is something that I've tried first in Essence. And you guys, this is something that I'm going to consider as a summer gourmand. Pistachio Haiku by Experimental Perfume Club. This fragrance is for someone who is into nutty fragrances. For example, you enjoy hazelnut, sesame notes in your fragrance, and at the same time, you also want some refreshing vibe in it. This to me smells like a pistachio and sesame ice cream. There's something about it that is very nutty, delicious, but at the same time cooling. I really love this fragrance. The moment I've tried this in Essence, I know that it is going to be one of my favorites this year. Definitely worth checking out. In my opinion, this is an amazing nutty gourmand that you will enjoy, especially in the summertime because of the fig and neroli notes that are in here. Highly recommend you checking this one out. And when it comes to performance, guys, this one lasts, let's say, around 6 to 8 hours. And the way it lasts on the skin, I'm telling you, is quite addictive. Once again, Pistachio Haiku by Experimental Perfume Club, your nutty summer gourmand. Next up is something that I rate so much, and I know that a lot of you purchased this out of my recommendation, and I know as well that a lot of you complained about the shipping fee, and I'm telling you, I am with you on that reason. I just hope that the brand Neydo will somehow come up with a new shipping solution for everyone. Anyway, I'm just gonna tell you once again about this amazing perfume discovery of mine from the brand called Neydo, and this is called Blond Redhead. This fragrance is another gourmand that is quite addictive. This time, this is more of like a strawberry cake kind of scent. This has a very smooth saffron, lime, and orange in the beginning, and then as it dries down, there is some fluffiness that feels like whipped, and it smells like a fresh strawberry cake that just came out of the fridge. This is a kind of gourmand that is not too sweet. In my opinion, this is done so well by Master Perfumer Bertrand Duchefaux. Very unique as well. In my collection, there is a very prominent rose, freesia, and fig milk in here that somehow smells like whipped cream and strawberries. Basically, that's the scent that I'm getting out of this fragrance, but still, you know, it is very perfume-like. So you won't really smell like a walking strawberry cake. Love how the white tobacco note is added in the base of this fragrance, as it gives it that uniqueness that feel like cold. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like the longer I have it, the colder it gets. There is something quite refreshing about this fragrance. So it's not just about smelling like whipped cream and strawberries. It's really, really beautiful, guys. And also, this is less than 100 euros or $100. But yeah, I know that in US, there is a ridiculous shipping fee. I suggest that you wait until Neydo resolve their shipping issues to other countries. But if you reside in Europe, I highly recommend you checking this one out because it is truly a standout gourmand to me. Blonde Redhead by Neydo. Oh, and by the way, longevity of this one is amazing. Let's say it lasts more than 8 hours with moderate projection. Next up is something not really unique. However, I find it so special. Eau Feminin by M.Micallef. I've tried this fragrance the first time in Essence, and there's just something about it that got me hooked. To me, this is your citrusy and peppery, orange blossom, jasmine, and rose combo that just evokes femininity. This is something that can be perfect as a signature scent. Eau Feminin is not something that will blow your mind, okay? However, I find this fragrance very impactful that I know a lot of you will enjoy it. I am really hooked on this one. The way this lingers on my skin, even under the heat, is just amazing. I remember I wore this the other day and it was very hot here in Portugal. I think it was around 30 degrees and Eau Feminin stayed with me the entire day. And the kind of scent bubble that it gave me was so beautiful. This is a kind of fragrance that evokes timeless beauty. I think that this is an amazing, solid release by M.Micallef this year. Next up is the newest release of Dora, and this is called Red. Once again, a unique fragrance that definitely stands out. This to me is a very remarkable combo of coconut, cardamom, hazelnut, and caramel. This starts off very coconutty and spicy, but then as it dries down, the caramel in the base slowly sweetens up this perfume, and then it suddenly turns into kind of like gourmand, but not really. This is another nutty fragrance. So if Pistachio Haiku is like your summer gourmand, I feel like Red will be your summer gourmand night version. I think this is a fragrance that will endure the cold as well, so it is very worth it. The way the spices, coconut, hazelnut, and caramel are executed in this fragrance is just amazing. I really enjoy this fragrance. I've tried this the first time when I was in Essence, and I already had that feeling that I will include this in my top perfume discoveries this year. Now that I own the bottle because they kindly gifted it to me, the more I love it. Definitely worth checking out, guys. Highly recommend if you're looking for a unique and sexy coconut and nutty scent to add in your collection. Red by Dora. Guys, next up is the only Middle Eastern perfume in today's list. And I know that I talked a lot about Middle Eastern perfumes. However, in my opinion, this is the one that stands out the most when it comes to quality and performance. And this is Teriaq by Lattafa. The reason why I included Teriaq in today's video is that it is a step up from a Middle Eastern fragrance, in my opinion. It may remind you of a lot of fragrances out there. However, it is not a dupe. Second, It is created by master perfumer Kentin Bish. Third, the performance of this fragrance is amazing considering the price. I find this fragrance really long lasting, guys. Like, definitely last more than 8 plus hours on skin and on clothes. That's why I feel like this is of high quality. And lastly, guys, this is a complex fragrance. There is something in it that is giving niche quality, as this fragrance has different layers. It starts off very peppery and sweet, and then as it dries down, the rhubarb and apricot gives this fragrance a little bit of tanginess, and then the final dry down is mostly rose, vanilla, leather, labdanum, and caramel. It is beautiful. I think if you're the type who appreciates good quality scent, you're gonna love Teriaq. This might be similar to Jean Paul Gaultier Le Bel, which is created as well by Kenton Bish. However, in my opinion, Teriaq is more complex. It has more quality. I love the fact that I feel Kentin Bish DNA still imprinted in this fragrance because of the rose and rhubarb that he likes to use in his creations. And there is still a Middle Eastern touch in this fragrance that is not oudi. In my opinion, Teriaq is something as well that can be worn as a signature scent. You must love caramel, honey, and rose in order to enjoy Teriaq. And also, may I add, I've been asked several times if I detect leather in this fragrance, and I must say that yes, I do. However, it's very little, to the point that it's even unnoticeable to me, because to me this is more of like a caramelized and honeyed apricot with some roses on top. Teriaq by Lattafa. Next up is something that you will guess will be included in today's video, because I raved about this fragrance nonstop, and I think I'm the only person who is talking about this fragrance as well. And this is Un Bel Amour d'été. This is a very unique and impactful tropical summer scent. Basically, this is full on ylang ylang, champaca, magnolia, and gardenia. So imagine those white and yellow florals. It's not indolic, at least to me. This has a very unique twist because of the turmeric and cumin that is in here, that to me translated to be as very carnal. This under the heat stand out. There is something about this fragrance that is very sexy and carnal. However, it is from within. This just hits me differently. And I know that some of you purchased this fragrance as well out of my recommendations, and I know that you love it. It's not a very likable scent. However, if you are looking for a sexy, carnal, spiced florals, I highly recommend you Un Bel Amour d'été. This to me is a sexy floral, like point blank period. And when it comes to performance, oh, it is amazing, as it lasts around 6 to 8 hours. And guys, with this fragrance, the more you sweat, the more it lingers beautifully. Yeah, I highly recommend you to check this one out. I'm gonna link a website wherein you can try a sample of this fragrance. Un Bel Amour d'été by Parfums the Empire. By the way, how is it going? Are you loving my recommendations? I will be linking everything in the description box below. And if I have a discount code for any of them, they will be listed as well. All right, the next fragrance I must say is one of the best, or if not the best gourmand that I've tried this year. Creme Brule by Theodoros Kalotinis. And guys, I've talked about this fragrance as well a lot of times already. And by now you should know, this is basically a creme brulee with a base of coconut whipped cream. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna describe it. Once again, a very photorealistic dessert by Theodoros Kalotinis. This has a creamy and caramelized texture that I feel like is done to perfection. This is for those of you who love gourmand. If you are not into gourmand, just stay away from this fragrance because this is truly thick, sugary, sweet gourmand that might even give you a toothache. Yeah, but you know as well that I'm not really into photorealistic gourmands. However, there's something in here that I am appreciating a lot. Like, I don't know how Theodoros Kalotinis do his perfumes, but he really is just a master when it comes to interpreting desserts, let's just say. Creme Brule has an amazing longevity and projection as well. It will stay forever on your clothes. And this to me is just a perfect interpretation of coconut milk, burnt sugar, whipped cream, and vanilla, because that's basically what you're gonna get out of this fragrance, Creme Brule by Theodoros Kalotinis. Your ultimate gourmand. I feel like this will shine the most during the colder seasons. Next up is another creation of Quentin Biche, and this just hits me differently. Tilia by Marc Antoine Barrois. And guys, this is basically a very unique summer floral scent. This to me smells like a very clean and soapy honey tea. If you read the notes, you might think like, what the hell, Georgie Wood, Broom, Linden Blossom, Amber Fix. But I'm telling you guys, if you are into clean and soft kind of fragrances, you're gonna love this fragrance. The way Tilia lingers in the air is just different. I know a lot of you are complaining how soapy it can be, especially in the dry down, but I'm telling you guys, the real beauty of Tilia is in its scent bubble. It's how people are perceiving this fragrance. It is very long lasting. If you love soft florals and clean kind of scent, I highly recommend you Tilia. This is another unique fragrance that I think is signature scent worthy. The last two fragrances are in sample sizes because I haven't purchased them yet. Icon by Kajal. If you watch my channel, you know how much I love this fragrance. This, in my opinion, is the best fruity scent that I've tried this year so far. There's something about Kajal fruity scents. I feel like they are just so luxuriously done. This is basically passion fruit, orange, and pineapple bomb. However, done in the most luxurious way that you can imagine. There is a ginger here that cuts off the fruitiness of the fragrance. In the base, there is a very smooth patchouli, sandalwood, musk, praline, and vanilla. It is fruity, it is sweet, yet it is very rich. This fragrance is light and thick when it comes to texture. I know that sounds weird, but this is a fruity scent that you feel the thickness of the fruits. However, as it lingers on your skin, it feels very light. Definitely of high quality, just any other Kajal fragrances. I will definitely purchase a full bottle of this. Maybe in July or August, because I really fell head over heels with this fragrance. Longevity and projection is amazing. Lasts around 6 to 8 hours and lasts forever on clothes. Yeah, highly recommend Icon by Kajal. Such an amazing, high quality, fruity perfume released this year. Last but not the least is a cherry dominant fragrance, because we need more cherry fragrances in our lives, right? I don't know why, but this fragrance really gave me an impact. And this is called Perpetual by Moresque. I've tried it first time when I was in Exxon's and I was blown away. So how does it smell like? This is not your typical syrupy cherry because this has a very prominent ginger as well. At the same time, brown sugar, sandalwood, and tonka bean in the background that grounded this fragrance just so well. This to me smells so beautiful and addictive. It is not gourmand and it is not a Tom Ford Lost Cherry flanker. It is just done so differently. And you know that I love cherry notes in fragrances as well. And this one just stands out. And why is it different from other cherry fragrances? I think it is because of how the ginger contrasts the sweetness of the almond and cherry that is in here. And also it has that very prominent rose as well that I love. This to me, once again, smells luxurious and definitely a must buy for me this year. I think this will shine more in the colder season, maybe starting fall. So I'm gonna purchase it maybe at that time. Highly recommend. A beautiful cherry, ginger, and rose scent that gives an impact. Yeah, Perpetual by Moresque. Oh, and by the way, when it comes to longevity and projection, guys, this one lasts. I don't need to spray a lot of this fragrance in order to be smelled. So those are my top 10 perfume discoveries so far. How did you find it? Have you tried any of these fragrances, or maybe you have your own top perfume discoveries? Please let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed this content. See you in my next video. Bye!